I came in from the West Coast, and we had to come to Chicago and then on back down home. And this was this just a few days before Christmas? I think it was.
A few days after.
A few days after Christmas. And I went up to Verdon to see a friend of mine.
Glenn was home from service. He was just getting ready to be discharged. In Verdon, where I lived, I was at a restaurant with my friend, and he came in from Girard with a friend of his, and his friend was dating my friend. And so that's how we met.
She was in nurses training at Memorial Hospital in Springfield.
I don't know how we came in contact that second time. I suppose you called me.
I hadn't been home very long. I guess after the first 2 or 3 dates, I started getting pretty regular. I thought she was a pretty nice looking gal.
We weren't really serious. We were just more or less enjoying each other's company, and we'd go to the movie, and they had a little place in Thayer, had a dance hall, and we'd dance. That was our favorite thing. We'd go to this place.
She was a good dancer, too.
He was pretty good. He got better.
So, I thought if we was going to get married, we had to have a house. And so, since I knew nothing about it, I decided to build a house anyway. She got a job after nurses training. She worked at Sangamo Electric. And so I thought the money she's making would help pay for the house. So we built the house, and we didn't get the house done in time. We lived with her mom and dad, which lived not as far from here to Linden Richard. We had to live with them about 2 weeks before we got the house done. It was 30 feet long, 20 feet wide. That's 600 square feet. We had 2 bedrooms, a living room, and a kitchen, and a bathroom.
He had given me an engagement ring exactly about a year after we met. I was an only child, and so my parents had a really nice wedding for us. It was at the Methodist Church in Verdon.
Yeah, I remember that double-breasted suit we had, and I didn't like it.
I think I was a little nervous.
She didn't show it anyway. I don't think I was.
I don't think you were either. The receptions were a little different back in those days. We had punch and cake, and we thought that was pretty grand.
And so I then decided that my dad's brother, my uncle, his name was Tom Neff, he was a carpenter, and I decided I would be a carpenter like him. I guess that's when you say you got more guts and sense. And I and Norma, she let me, and we went in business, building houses in Jacksonville, and that started in 1954. And we built quite a few of them.
I did work in the hospital for a while, and then I had the opportunity to work for the school district, and they built a new school, Armstrong School, and so I started there, and I worked 20 years there as secretary.
She says she was a secretary, but also I remember that she was kind of since she had nurses training, she was the school nurse, the Band-Aid lady, and take care of the kids that got hurt and wasn't feeling good.
Yeah, I bandaged a lot of knees and elbows. And see, the early days, That was when we would go on Saturday night. We would take them to the drive-in movie and take our popcorn, and they always had some kind of little comic before they started the movie back then, and they would make it through the comic, and then they would fall asleep, and after their popcorn.
If we hit it lucky, we'd get a double feature on a Friday or Saturday night. We'd get see 2 shows, and Carl and Linda lay in the back seat asleep. Then after that double feature, along about midnight or after, we'd have to carry them all into the house, put them to bed.
We vacationed a lot.
Yeah, while the kids was growing up, mainly we took a lot of.
Sure.
In the real early days, a big trip was to go to Springfield. Chicago was clear out of the world. St. Louis was, St. Louis, we'd been to St. Louis several times, but I think the first longest one we took was to California.
I think we've been in every state, but we think 3. Our family's growing, and we've enjoyed having little kids in the family now. We've got 3 great-grandchildren, and I think that's what makes the home, is the family.
Linda's got 3 boys, and Carla has got the 2 daughters, then the 2 great-granddaughters, which is Abigail and Clint's.
And then little Addie, little Addie. We've seen a lot of changes in history, and can't imagine what's ahead for these little girls. I hope it's all for the good. But do you have anything you want to say?
Listen to each other, whether you like to or not. Listen what the other person has to say, because it might be important, more important than you think it is. And that doesn't mean there isn't going to be an argument now and then. Anybody that's been married 65 years or longer says they never had a fight, they're lying to you. She won every one of them. We never got in that many fights.
Well, I think you have to have interest in each other, your occupation, and your interests in traveling. I'm not the world's best traveler, but I've been there every mile. So I think, and enjoyed every bit of it. I can always count on him. I just always know he's going to be there for me, whether it's something he's not totally interested in, but he'll follow through.
Yeah. You can depend on her from here to hell and back. That's about it.
Sometimes I wonder why I spend the lonely night dreaming of a song. That melody haunts my reverie, and I am once again with you when our love was new.